It is an undisputed fact that sometimes life presents us with the most curious coincidences. The following account relates to one particular person at a distance of around 11,000 miles. The person in particular is a lady named Rita, who originally hailed from the Shankill Road but relocated to the suburb of Yarraville, Melbourne, along with her husband and their infant twins, a boy and a girl, if my memory serves me correctly, sometime in 1954. They didn't settle immediately and came back to Belfast a couple of years later after a bout of homesickness, only to return to Australia after a year or so, and there they remained. In 1976, my aunt also relocated from Belfast to Yarraville, and in 1982, we began to go back and forward to visit. We met and became friends with Rita and her family, and always spent time with her when we were in Australia, and more seldom on her visits back to Belfast, which became even more seldom as she grew older and less able to travel, and as her remaining family here became more scant. On our penultimate visit to Belfast, which would have been around 1998, we took Rita out for lunch in Grace Neil's in Donaghadee. She loved the atmosphere of the place and was keen to write in the guest book on her way out. She signed her name, left a comment and a record of where she was visiting from, and then she excitedly called us over. "What are the chances of that?" she exclaimed as she pointed out the previous entry, which had been made by a woman who lived a couple of doors down from her in Yarraville just the day before. What were the chances indeed? 12 years later, in 2010, Rita returned to Belfast for what would be the final time. She was by this stage very much in her twilight years, and we took her for a drive around the County Down countryside, where she marvelled at the beauty of our wee country and how easy it was to access the sea from pretty much anywhere. When we returned to Belfast, she asked us for a small favour. Could we possibly take her to see her friend May? They had been very close in their youth, but hadn't set eyes on each other for over 50 years. They had communicated for a while by telephone in the early days, which was initially a very costly form of communication, and thereafter by Christmas card with the occasional letter thrown in for good measure. It wasn't a big detour, and we were delighted to be able to reunite the long-lost friends, so we drove to May's house, as requested, where Rita excitedly knocked the door, which went unanswered. Rita, knowing she would probably never be back in Belfast again, was undeterred and persevered, knocking the door and ringing the bell. When she started looking through the windows, the next door neighbour came out to ask questions, and we were totally dumbfounded to hear that May was not at home, as she had gone on holiday to Australia. Rita, disheartened and bemused, remarked that she should have written ahead to tell May her travel plans, but could think of no reason why her friend, being of the age she was at the time, would have made the trip to Australia. And an even more bizarre twist to this extraordinary tale, Rita arrived home to a note from May to say that she had called at her house looking for her. This was relayed to us soon after, and we found it beyond belief that the two old friends were on opposite sides of the world looking for each other at the same time. Sadly, the two were never reunited, as not long after returning home, Rita suffered a bad stroke and died about 6 months later. She and her family never did find out why May had gone to Australia. As far as they were aware, she had no family there and no other friends except Rita. It really was the most peculiar case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Karen, thank you so much. I just find that really heartbreaking.
It is quite sad, isn't it?
Really? Yeah, just such an awful, it really is. Thank you. It's such a delight to see you.
Well, they did try anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
They tried to get together.
And traveling to Australia at that time in life,
yeah,
or back again, it's not easy.
It's a bloody long way, as I say.
Yeah, indeed. Listen, thanks so much. Great to hear from you. All the best. Okay, what an amazing collection of stories we have had tonight. I have to say, just before I reveal what our next theme is, all these stories will be on our YouTube channel, hopefully this weekend, if the upload speed improves. So you'll be able to see all the stories. Also, all our previous Zoom evenings are up there. They're all in very manageable chunks, so it's not like you have to watch an hour and a half's worth. They're all in like 10, 12-minute chunks. So very easy to go and check it out if you wish. Also, we'll have the podcast out this weekend. in case I hadn't mentioned that we have a podcast, which is you can get at our website, in case I didn't mention that we have a website, 10by9.com. And I have to say a quick thank you to Damien Stone and Lizzie Whitehead, who donated via Patreon. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I can see you there, Damien, under Ashley's login. So thank you. Really appreciate it. It's very helpful. Because we're still waiting on a payment from the BBC from February, which is, yeah, they need to cough up. Anyway, I'm now going to do the big reveal. So in your head, be thinking drum roll, because our next evening is on July 22nd. And as we do every year, it's going to be part of the Pride Festival. So the theme is out. And you can interpret that in whatever way you like. And you do not have to be a part of the LGBTQ, whatever it is this week, community. But it would be good if your story had some sort of connection to that. We've had amazing stories in previous years. So I'm sure you will not let us down this year either. So that's July the 22nd, 7:30 p.m. here back on Zoom. You'll get the link, will be on our website under either the events or on the front page. So, and we'll get that hopefully up tonight. Also, just remember YouTube, podcast, and that's it for me. Padraig's going to, oh yeah, and we're going to keep the meeting running so you can message people when this is over. So for me, that's it. Padraig's going to see us out.
Thanks, Paul. And thanks, everybody. Thanks very much for coming and listening to the stories. There's something brilliant about people taking time out of their week to come and listen to some stories. It's a real joy. So thanks very much to Fiona Malloy and to Helen Killick and to Paul Hutchinson and to Gaida Meaden and to Helen McClements and to Karen Hetherington. We really appreciate your time in putting it all together. Thanks very much, everybody. And we're going to leave the chat room open here for people to keep on chatting to each other if you like. And we're going to have a quick look back through the chat as well before it gets lost when we finish the meeting in about 10 minutes. But thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks for 10 by 9 out. And in the meantime, if you want to catch up on stories, you can do that. Keep an eye on our social media too. Helen Killick has sent us in a photograph of that gorgeous grave in Orkney, so we'll tweet that out and put it on our Facebook and Instagram as well over the next few days. Thanks for doing that, Helen. All the best, everybody, and see you in a couple of weeks.